Hello and welcome to the episode of WrestleTrain slash WrestleJunkie slash I don't know what I'm going to call it still, but this is my show and you are welcome to it because I am your host, Micah. You can follow me on Twitter at Micah Kool-Aid. This is Daniel Bryan. He is not my co-host, but he is one of the most. And I am here to bring you the reviews for Raw and SmackDown this week. Both, well, one was actually fairly good. The other was not that much, and I will get there. Um, as I said, I am your host, Micah. Once again, you can follow me on Twitter at Micah Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid with a K. Uh, yeah, let's get started with the show. And today's show yesterday's show was Raw, and it was for the 25th anniversary of Raw. And, well, I'm actually going to take off my hat for this because it's not a hats off, pissed off as per se. It's more of hats off, meh off. And I will, it's not a dollar. I thought we said pissed was not in the cursing jar. No, it's not. We'll discuss this after. At my household, we have a new cursing jar. We introduced it at the beginning of this year. So far, I've put $25 in it. I now owe $5 more, so I'm up to $30. If peed off is a part of it, then now I owe $31. Besides that, we're here to review Raw and the 25th anniversary of said Raw. So, Raw opens up with Shane and Stephanie McMahon welcoming everyone to Raw and saying how momentous and great the show is and how fantastic and all sorts of stuff, hyping it up like no one's business. And what actually happens is that they go to a video package, and if you are not a person who's savvy to the past of Raw or to the past of the WWE in general, or any of that, I highly recommend you watch this video package. It's pretty long. I want to say it's maybe 3 minutes, a little bit less, but it goes over a lot of the history of the show and all of the like big iconic moments. I've been watching Raw since I think I wrote it in this notebook ages ago, and I was never able to. Yeah, I started watching Raw at WrestleMania 13. That is March 23rd, 1997. That was the very first match I ever watched with Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. The very first match. And I have seen so much. I've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin kill Vince McMahon. I've seen Kurt Angle ride in on a giant milk truck and spray everybody in the ring with it. I've seen uh, I've seen the Owen Hart situation. I've seen a lot of stuff. Um, and having 25 years of this is shocking because I remember like just being a kid, 6 years old, going on 7, or if not 7 years old, um, and just like, man, this is nuts. This is crazy. They're literally crazy people, and I love it. And now I'm 27 as of today, and I like to see the evolution of it is pretty crazy. Um, and after the video package, Shane and Stephanie introduced their father, the man who created Raw, who created this whole thing in the first place, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Don't call me Junior. No one calls me Junior. I don't talk about my dad. Anywho, so Vince comes in and he's very somber. He's very somber, Vince. He's very much like, ah, man, shucks. I don't want you guys to. I don't talk big about myself. I don't want you guys to talk big about me. You're here for the show. Let's start the show. And Stephanie and Shane stop him. And in classic heel mentality, classic Vince mentality, he goes from, well, hello there, I'm Vincent Kennedy McMahon, to, I'm the boss, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And he talks about how, yeah, why'd you give me a plaque? I've done all this for you, and the only thing you can give me is a plaque. Screw you. I'm more than that than you. The only plaque in this, one of the best lines was, the only plaque that these people in the audience are familiar with is the plaque on their teeth because they're so dirty. And I was like, wow, he is. If you don't know what a carnival is, watch a regular Raw and watch Vince McMahon in particular because he is the carnival leader. He is the ringleader of everything. But it was perfect, and he said he built it all by himself. He had no help ever, and out. You hear that glass breaking. Out comes, oh, give me a hell yeah! And Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out. And Stone Cold doesn't say any lines. He has no lines whatsoever the whole show. Actually, this is the first and only time that we ever see him. And he is just mostly staring down Vince. Vince states like, "Hey, I'm an old man now. I remember back in the day we used to have tons of battles and stuff, but like I'm not. That's not me anymore. Let's end the show. Actually, you can beat up my son. You can beat up Shane. Shane takes bumps all the time. He's marvelous at it. Go ahead." Stone Cold takes Shane and parades him around the audience. They're popping everything. Hits him with the Stone Cold Stunner. Everyone goes nuts. Gets some beers, drinks them up. Gives one to Vince. Vince drinks some beers. Hits Vince with the Stunner. Everyone goes nuts. Shane McMahon starts stirring. He gets up. Vince gives him a beer. Stone Cold gets him a beer. Hits him with the Stunner. Everybody goes nuts. Me personally, I did pop. I was like, what? And I knew Stone Cold was going to be there. But nostalgia is a hell of a drug, man. And I will get to that once I'm done with the whole review of Raw because it really encapsulates my feelings towards nostalgia, especially in the WWE. The first match we get, and trust me, I'm going to fly by these matches because they're nothing. They're nothing matches. The whole show was about nostalgia. They do not at all, at any point, really build up to the Royal Rumble after this. By the way, the earlier segment, Stone Cold and Vince got the biggest pops of the whole night. Out of the whole night, there was never another moment that was as big and iconic as that. Everyone went nuts, and like it shows through the rest of the show that no one else is even close to that level, and as and it was very disjointed. So the first actual match of Raw is Absolution with Paige. So Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose with Alicia Fox and Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks, Bayley, Mickie James, and Asuka. So basically, the girlfriends and Asuka. And Asuka's in control a lot of the match. At one point, she tags in Sasha Banks during the match. Sasha Banks just gets worked over. She gets beat up a lot. Alicia Fox actually gets a lot of offense in. From a commercial break, they start brawling a bit, and then Sasha Banks just out of nowhere walks in the bank statement to make Alicia Fox taps and gets the win for the team. And the team's all like, "Yeah, we won. We're girlfriends." And then Asuka's like, "Japanese, I don't give a crap about your girlfriends. I'm my only friend." Eliminates them. Eliminate by she throws them over the top rope to simulate what she's going to do to them at the Royal Rumble. It's great. It shows Asuka isn't just like, "Yeah, I'm a buddy. No, I'm a threat. I'm a problem. Come at me. Get at me. I'm Japanese. I'll destroy you." And it was pretty cool. I'll give it that. Asuka got a huge reaction. Most of the other girls didn't really get a reaction. Nia Jax got a very strong reaction when she was actually in the match. But other than that, um, that was mostly how the match went. After that, they went to a backstage segment of Kurt Angle just hanging around, and then comes out, and I have to look at this because it was a lot of people. Brother Love, Teddy Long, Boogeyman, Jonathan Coachman. I may be missing somebody, but basically they all were left like, "Whoa, we haven't seen each other in ages. Let's do handshakes and hugs. We're from the past. Do you guys remember that? We're from the past. Do you like the past? Because we're from that, and we're going to have much more of that tonight." So, after that, they go. By the way, I didn't say at the very beginning of the match. Not the match. At the very beginning of the show, it was explained that there were two venues for this Raw. There was the show at the Barclays Center, and there was a show going on at the same exact time at the Manhattan Center, where Raw had its very first show. The Manhattan Center had tickets with one of the tickets going as low as, I want to say, by what I heard reports of, $256, and a high price, very good seat ticket was 800 and some odd bucks or higher. And compared to where the Barclays Center, it wasn't. It was standard pricing. Like Raw comes here to Tampa every so often, and tickets are, you can get pretty nice tickets at $40. So that's probably what was at the Barclays Center, and for what they paid for at the Manhattan Center and what they got, it is disrespectful. Anywho, so what I bring up to that is the factor that they show Undertaker. They have an Undertaker video, and Undertaker comes out at the Manhattan Center. Super cool. He looks nice. I tell Cassie that Undertaker's that weird age that when at certain times he looks like he's actually dead. He plays a giant zombie man. That's his whole character. But certain times he literally looks like an old man at death's door sometimes. And then there's other times where he just looks like a cool, like, necromancer guy. And this was one of those cool times. He had a nice hood, sleeveless, so you saw all of his tattoos. He looked like he just, like, jacked, kind of worked out a little bit, just be like, yes, I'm the dead man, as he picked up weights to make himself look a little better. And he gave, like, this really weird promo, basically, that made no sense. If you see right there, that's Marvel. And it had, like, it made no sense. If anything, the best way to put it, he retired? Question mark? His last line was, after all these years, I can finally put my opponents to rest in peace. That was it. And, like, yeah. That was about 45 minutes into the show of Raw, and that's the first and only thing that the Manhattan Center got. They had other little things sprinkled in, but 99% of the show that they watched was on the screen, and sometimes they would get a match in the ring, and it reflects on their energy for the night. But we're not done. They also show that Rhino and Heath Slater are playing poker backstage with the APA. Farouk and JBL. And in the middle of it, the $1 million man Ted DiBiase shows up, throws a huge wad of cash, holding the beautiful, beautiful $1 million championship, and wants to play, and does his maniacal laugh. Great moment. Love the $1 million man. After that, they have a presentation of all general managers that ever have been with Raw. They show William Regal, John Laurinaitis, Eric Bischoff, and for some reason Daniel Bryan, who is a SmackDown general manager, but I'm pretty sure they just wanted the yes pop that he is capable of providing. So, after all of this segments that I brought up, we have a match. And I can't say the match of the night because, like, it was the match of okay. It was The Miz versus Roman Reigns for the Intercontinental title. When Miz came out, he actually had a really nice stare down against Daniel Bryan. It was great. I hope to God that Daniel Bryan is clear, even though he's clearly in my home, but clear to wrestle again and faces The Miz very sometime soon because it is perfect. So Roman is in control a lot with his power. Miz is cheating. Miz is cheating a lot. Normally, I've noticed lately that Miz doesn't use a lot of dirty hand tactics. He just mostly, like, gets lucky in a lot of his matches. But this time, he deliberately cheated. Like, he threw Roman into, like, the ring steps, which isn't technically cheating, but it is shown as heel tactics. He used the ropes to try and get the count, and the crowd ate it up. Like, anytime Miz did anything, they were all over it, and the reaction for Roman was very mixed. The Miztourage got involved a lot. At one point, the Miztourage was ejected from the ringside, which made the crowd go hot. Miz hit the skull crush in the finale while Roman was trying to deal with them. He kicked out because big dog Roman Reigns. They kind of battled a bit more. Roman went for the spear, I believe, and Miz moved out of the way, and Roman ran to the middle turnbuckle without the padding. Whoever was on camera work either did really good or really bad and didn't really show Miz ever doing it. If you were watching at home, you would have never caught it. And Roman runs into the pad, and I guess discombobulates himself enough that Miz hits the skull crushing alley for a second time and gets the pinfall victory on Roman Reigns, thus becoming the, I believe, ninth time IC title holder. And, congratulations to The Miz. Great work. He is a great champion. Roman did very good too. A lot of people were skeptical about it. We all technically knew he was going to lose it before WrestleMania because he has to beat the Beast Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania to win it. But yeah, it was nice. It was good. Very formulaic. Miz did the great heel work, and yeah, it was okay. And we have a new IC title. We cut back to the poker game with the APA, and it's Jeff Hardy. Now Jeff Hardy, MVP, and the Usos are a part of it, and they're still dogging Heath Slater. We go back to the ring where Christian is doing a peep show. He introduces his guests, Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan. Crowd boos the crap out of Jason Jordan. They do not like him. Don't know why. I personally like Jason Jordan. I think his character work is excellent, superb, one of the best going on. His storyline progression is top tier. If you don't notice it, you are really choosing to just be blind. Once they get in the ring, Seth is head over heels for nostalgia. He's very much like, yeah, Seth Rollins, I'm hanging out with Christian in the Peep Show. And Jason Jordan's just like, man, it's so cool to be here. And the crowd is booing him so bad that you cannot hear him. But eventually, actually, the Bar shows up and they talk about how they're going to beat Jordan and Seth at the Royal Rumble. That Jordan, and then they got in the ring and they just started singing "You Suck" to Jordan. I had this conversation with Cassie. It's like Velociraptor. When you get sung "You Suck" to you, do you actually suck, or are you as good as Kurt Angle? We came to the conclusion that you do actually suck. Unless you are Kurt Angle, if you get saying that you suck to, you actually do suck. So that angers Jason Jordan. He retaliates. Rollins stands up for him and helps him, but he dives out to the ring to deal with, I want to say, Cesaro. Inside the ring, Jordan is holding Sheamus. He goes to do a knee to Sheamus, but Sheamus gets out. He knees Jordan, and it's kind of shown like, ooh, there's tension between them. Will they be able to work together correctly at the Royal Rumble? Find out by watching. And Christian just fades away. That's it. It's like Christian was only there to say, hey, this is the Peep Show. They brought out the whole set, and then it's over. That's it. They have a backstage segment with Alexa Bliss, and she gets asked if she thinks she's going to win if she's going to be the champion at the WrestleMania. And she's like, of course I will, blah, blah, blah. Charlotte comes out. Charlotte says, well, you're inferior to me because I'm Charlotte. I'm the best, and I have flair. Out comes Ric Flair, who oddly pets her. Watch it again. He literally, pets the back of her head. It's very creepy. Ric Flair is a crazy old man. And they woo. And, yeah. Ric Flair hypes up Charlotte because, that's his daughter. And they woo, and that's it. Everyone loves it. They have a very, very good Edge video package of his retirement. They show back to the APA playing poker, and now Titus Worldwide and Natalya are a part of it. And have you heard me bring up the Manhattan Center? No, because they haven't been there for like an hour. And they finally decide to do something, and they have Bray Wyatt versus Woken Matt Hardy. The match is done in 3 to 5 minutes, and Bray Wyatt wins with the Sister Abigail. It wasn't bad, but WWE has been promoting this feud for them since late December, I want to say. And they've yet to have a match. They've yet to really get that physical with each other. There's only one time where they did. And Matt still needs like credibility. He's just hanging on to the coattails of what he did outside the company. And it's like okay, but he's nowhere near the level that he should be with the local gimmick. And then there's Bray Wyatt, who's just damaged goods, like seriously. Um, and then like they they just it's so random. The crowd is very like disjointed, and even me at home, I'm like, why are they fighting? Like, why is this happening here at the Barclays Center of all places for no reason? And they're just hanging out. Like, the match was so abrupt and short and pointless. It's clearly not the end of the feud, and it's clearly in the like storyline, but they could have put anything else in the Barclays Center. They could have shown them a lot. Sorry, the Manhattan Center. They could have shown them a lot, but like, why? Seriously, why? Bray Wyatt wanted the Sister Abigail, like, not out of nowhere, but it just happened, and that was it. It's been reported that after the match, Jeff Hardy showed up from to like hug and parade around to the crowd there, but that was it. Um, Back inside of the main theater, the main arena, Barclays Center. Um, they present out the women. No women have any lines. No one has any promos. They show Trish Stratus, Kelly Kelly, Maurice, Jacqueline, Lillian Garcia, Michelle McCool, Katie. I want to say there's somebody else that I'm forgetting, and Trish Stratus. And they just stand there. They're just like, we're women. We are here. And that's it. And like, there's nothing wrong with that, but they could have gave Trish some mic time to like, hey, you girls are getting the Royal Rumble, like, get ready, it's gonna be fast and crazy, or like, we're so honored to be here, we're so honored to be a part of the women's revolution and do all sorts of stuff, and we're amazing women. Maurice is pregnant, and uh, gosh darn it, Maria Kanellis, that's what I meant. Maria Kanellis is there. And they're very close to having their babies. Nothing. They don't say anything. And it was just so weird. Jacqueline, one of, like, they think they even said one of the only black African American champions of the 90s and 2000s in the WWE until Alicia Fox at some point. Then that's monumental, and they just really just yep. Here are a whole bunch of women. They're here. Yep. Um, Elias is shown backstage walking, and he runs into Chris Jericho. If you didn't watch my review of Chris Jericho, Wrestle Kingdom in particular, Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, you should definitely go back and check it out. Great 5-star match. Hands down. I'm not a star kind of guy with matches. I go by a category of go out of your way to watch it. Check it out if you're bored. Like go out of your way to watch it. Good match. Okay match. Check it out if you're bored. Don't watch this match at all. That is take whatever time you need to take to watch Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. The build and the payoff of the match is fantastic. So to now see Chris Jericho, who had just like 20 maybe, it was the 22nd at that show, so 19 days after Wrestle Kingdom to be on Raw, and he's not signed with them, is pretty like weird and strange and cool. I call him Angry Dad Jericho because he's just really PO'd in New Japan and just beats up everybody and yells at everybody. And then he's this you just made the list Jericho. He even has his Alpha shirt, which is selling at Hot Topic and is huge, and it's not even WWE branded, but it's his own thing for a whole different company, and he's wearing it inside of the company. It's like companyception, and that he's hilarious. Jericho is great. He is the rock star. That Ayatollah of rock and roller defines him perfectly. He asks Elias if he can use his guitar to sing a song. Elias says no. Jericho says whatever, sings a song of his own. Elias gets upset, and he walks away. He also puts Elias on the list. Inside of the ring after the commercial break, Elias is singing a song about how much he hates the old people and nostalgia of wrestling. He sings about Jimmy Fallon, who's in the front of the ring. He looks very uncomfortable. And out comes John Cena because he talks some crap about that. John Cena goes like into full bar mode. I call it bar bro mode, because Elias is just like, you ruined my song, because he did, and you made these people feel like crap, and I'm just here trying to help them. Well then, if you ain't happy about it, you go do something about it. He just takes off his shirt and ready to fight. Dude, I just said that I'm not happy that you interrupted me. That doesn't mean we should fight. Let's just have a civil conversation. Let's have a cup of tea and have a conversation. Maybe even sing it out. No, Cena's just ready to start a fight. I think he's gonna win. Elias is classic heel. No, walks away, turns around, attacks Cena. Cena gets the upper hand, about to hit him with the AA. Elias gets out, low blows him, gets outside the ring, gets his guitar, and smashes it over the back of Cena's head / back area, mostly like the shoulders, but it felt like it hit his head. Elias picks him up and hits him with the drift away to a reverse twisting neck breaker, and yeah, that's it. Elias stands strong. It looks like we're gonna have an Elias Sampson versus John Cena feud. Since Samoa Joe is injured for the time being, should be okay. Elias in particular, great reaction. At one point, he said, "You all know what WWE stands for," and the entire crowd says, "Walk with Elias." It was pretty cool to hear, and as a person who didn't like Elias in NXT, and to see him now being celebrated and adored on the main roster, and even myself being won over, I'm very like, whoa, that shows what some serious pushing can do. They show the New Day are now with the APA playing poker, and they actually find out that Heath Slater has been cheating. So Titus Worldwide challenges Heath Slater and Rhino to a match. Yeah, no big deal. Mark Henry is shown backstage walking, and he runs into the Godfather. And the Godfather is just like, "Hey man, this used to, while his name is Mark Henry, he used to be called Sexual Chocolate." And the Godfather is with his woman of the night, and Mark Henry's just like, "Man, I changed so much. The sexual chocolate is gone, but it looks like you're exactly the same. You're still hanging out with this." And Godfather says, "What are you talking about? This is my wife." And she shows a ring, and Mark is just flabbergasted. He's checking out the booty though as she walks away, and it looks like the Godfather has came full circle from his pimp days. Back inside the ring, we have Titus Worldwide. Yes, I'm doing it with my tea. I'm gonna drink some of it actually. And versus Rhino and Heath Slater. There was no match. There was no match whatsoever. Basically, what happened was they beat up on Heath Slater for a bit. Out came the Dudley Boys in the Barclays Center, which should have been in the Manhattan Center, which would have been freaking nuts, but they didn't need to give them anything. Dudley Boys beat up Heath Slater and put him through a table. Crowd goes nuts. They go backstage, and AJ Styles is doing a promo. He actually calls out Mean Gene Okerlund to come out and join him with the promo. Mean Gene looks really old because he is, but he is still that beautiful, great voice. If I could have any person be my priest at a wedding, I want it to be Mean Gene, because he is Mean Gene Okerlund. He's not even mean though. He's so nice. And he flusters up Mean Gene by starting his promo out like Hulk Hogan. He says he wished he could do that all along, but he states that he's going to beat up Sammy and Kevin at the Royal Rumble and retain his championship. Blah blah blah. We're back at the Manhattan Center now. Mind you, this is, I think, honest to God, the third or fourth time in this review that I've only said about the Barclays Center, because they were never there. And as I said, they spent tons of money to be there, and those people got a crap show. So, Degeneration X comes out of Shawn Michaels and Triple H. And Shawn Michaels really is kind of like, "Yeah, I'm here," and he's energetic, but then he's like, he turns into the corporate stooge-ish. Like, you can go watch anything that I do on the WWE Network just for $9.99. And he was mocking it, but he was definitely like, my spirit is broken, and I've been doing this for a long time. And then Triple H goes into full NXT Triple H. You guys are the ones that started this, and you guys are what make us keep going. It's not that we still got it, it's that you still got it. Oh my God, Generation X. Well, it wouldn't be Generation X without the help of China or these guys. Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody. Out comes Road Dogg and Jesse James and Billy Gunn. They do their stick. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, yada yada yada. They actually then introduce X-Pac. X-Pac comes out. The crowd chants 1, 2, 3 kid. I explained to Cassie what that means. He was genuinely like kind of choked up. And then he introduces Razor Ramon. And Razor Ramon comes out. They go to commercial break. They go to commercial break while Razor Ramon comes out. And it's wasn't a good thing to do. But they gotta save their time. They gotta get their advertisements. Once back from commercial break, Razor does his shtick of being the bad guy. Thanks to fans and all that. He's very happy to be there. And out comes the Balor Club. They come out. They give a too sweet with the rest of the guys. And then after that, out comes the Revival. The Revival have a brawl. Sorry, the Rival start a fight with the Club. The Club beat them in like a minute with the Magic Killer. And then all of DX hit their finishers except to the Revival with Finn Balor topping it off with a coup de grace after the match. After all that happens, Triple H holds up Finn Balor in the middle of the audience and they go nuts. And that's it for the Barclays Center. Sorry, Manhattan Center. Never spoken about again. So now we're back at the Barclays Center, and I'm just going to wrap it up quick. Braun Strowman puts Brock Lesnar to the table. Kurt Angle has all these people come out to secure the mishaps for the show tonight and make sure that Brock, Braun, and Kane don't destroy the whole arena. Doesn't happen. The brawl starts anyways. Kane literally is forgettable. I don't even know what he does. I have no memory of it, and I wrote notes. And then Braun Strowman puts Brock through the table, and he stands up tall, and I'm Braun, I won. Yeah. So what I bring to you is the factor of that everyone loves nostalgia. Everyone loves these people from the past. And not just people, things from the past. Cass and I have started rewatching Living Single I'm rewatching something that I used to watch as a kid. Cass has never seen Living Single. She's loving it. I talked with my original co-host DJ Cass, and he lives strictly in the 90s, and he only talks about shows from then, like Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, just to name some cartoons. And we as people love nostalgia, but nostalgia isn't always the way to go. I think in wrestling, while nostalgia is great to look at the past, you should always be looking at the now, and looking at the now to then look at the future. This Raw 25 encapsulated exactly what WWE feels about the now and the future. That's irrelevant. It's only about the past. While having 25 years of Raw is very good, if I was a fan stepping into Raw 25, a first-time fan, I hear about this Royal Rumble, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. The commentators bring it up every so often, but it's very much not important to them. They're more focused on the people of the past. They're more focused on what happened in the past, and these people from the past. And while they did their things in the past, and that's great, they're icons. They're people who stand the test of time. They're people who will definitely get a rise out of me, get me, whoa, that's great. I want to get stars for now. I want to get people who are there every week and every day, busting their butts, showing their craft, giving us fantastic matches, showing us character development, bringing very interesting things into the wrestling world. And while the past is nice, and very much makes you feel good, it really doesn't do anything. None of these guys will be back. None of these guys will be doing anything for the company next time. It doesn't do anything. It's just to be there to be like, man, I remember that. And they talk about it all the time. It shouldn't always be, I remember that. It should be, man, this right now is cool. And this could lead to that in the future. So that's me about Raw. I highly recommend you do not watch this show. Raw 25. If you are trying to teach or introduce a person to the things of the past of wrestling in a quick 3-hour span, and just throw a whole bunch of like nostalgia and people from old at them, show it to them. Like you can point out like, hey, there's MVP. He's there. He doesn't say a word. But he's there. That's MVP. That's Montel Vontavious Porter. He's there. He used to do this. You can further explain to that person who these people are and then go on to the network and further explain it. But for anything else, you can easily skip the show. It did nothing. And that was about Raw. Now, we're on to the better show, which is SmackDown, which came on tonight on January 23rd. Woo! You're probably wondering what that was. That was some wrapping paper because it's my birthday! January 23rd, I'm 27 years old. Now there's some really annoying scratching noises on the mic, but now it's gone. Either way, today's SmackDown was great. Straight up. I had a lot of fun. The 2 hours flew by compared to last week's. This was a great SmackDown Live. It opens with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens having a promo at the very beginning about their Yep movement and how they're going to beat AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble and be the first co-champions. The crowd hates them. The crowd are very much booing them. The crowd is very, very attached to this show. They cheer and boo everything in this show great. And a good crowd makes a great show. AJ Styles comes out and they do actually crowd's doing a very AJ Styles loud chant, and while Sami and Kevin are just cutting him down, AJ Styles comes out to interrupt them. He talks. They have a very good promo exchange of how they're gonna beat him and how he's gonna beat those guys. He's the one that this is the house that AJ Styles built. Cassie doesn't understand because they know that AJ Styles never built a house, but it's a joke. Besides that, Kevin Owens and Sami are doing great. They go back to videos. They bring back videos of things that AJ said and that he can't back up, like that. He's the one that set up the match for them to have a handicap match in the first place. Now he's whining about it. That AJ is the one that said that he can beat them both in the same night. And now he's whining about it. Why doesn't he back it up? Why doesn't he have a gauntlet match with him tonight? Daniel Bryan comes out, who they've also hyped. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have also hyped up because the angle seems that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan are all colluding together and are really linked up and buddy. But he says, like, while I understand a handicap match for AJ Styles is tough, I believe in him and that, but I don't think him facing both of you guys at the same time in the night is good. AJ Styles says, bump that. I'm AJ Styles. I'm the best. And he says, yes, I'll face you later tonight to the both of them in a gauntlet match. Great. So, they go to commercial, they come back. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are talking backstage. They're very much in that, like, high school, like, I'm mad at you, but I'm not talking to you style. Eventually, they do start talking, and it's Shane saying that Daniel's making illogical choices. Daniel says he believes in their champion and wants to show that he's dominant. He needs to have some faith in him, especially because he faced him last year at WrestleMania. And yeah, that's that their tension is building up more and more. I hope to God they do let him fight at WrestleMania because he is great. And if this whole thing builds up to nothing, to just like a pseudo thing, that's stupid. Daniel Bryan needs to WrestleMania. Need it. He's right here. He's doing perfectly fine. He's right below the WWE Championship. Get my message. Anywho, first match of the show is Jey Uso, accompanied by Jimmy Uso, versus Chad Gable with Shelton Benjamin. Chad Gable is very much in control with a lot of mat wrestling, a lot of going at his legs and doing that. They go to a little commercial break where the match is going on down here, and the rest of the show is commercials. I'm paying a lot of attention to it. And Chad Gable is working over Jey Uso's arm for a lot of it. Once they come back fully from commercial, Jey gets a little bit more control. What is it? He sells his arm that he's having troubles using it, but he still gets strikes in and discombobulating Chad Gable. Eventually, he goes for a Uso splash in the corner. He moves. Chad moves. He tries for a German suplex. Eventually, hits it on him from rolling position into a deadlift German suplex, and gets the win on Jey Uso to lead into their match at the Royal Rumble. At the Royal Rumble, it will be the Usos, or as I like to call them, GT Usos versus American Beta of Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in 2 out of 3 falls for the tag team titles. I think it's going to be a barn burner, and it's going to be great. These guys have worked great. Has great momentum for Chad Gable with that beautiful, beautiful German suplex that he does oh so well. And yeah, it's going to be a great, great time. They have a interview segment with Renee Young talking with Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke does a very good promo, and I want you to know, a lot of American fans do the freaking what chant, especially if you have an accent or can speak very little English. With Shinsuke, they didn't do it. They were very respectful towards him. There was a small what chant at the beginning, but his promo was talking about how his tactics are going to be in the Royal Rumble. He's just going to hit knees. I like how when I talk about Cassius Ohno, I'm like, Cassius Ohno throwing elbows. He's just knee after knee after knee after knee is what Shinsuke is going to do. Out comes Edgelord Baron Corbin, who's just like, you're all talk. I'm Baron Corbin, and I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. You can't win because I'm going to win. I'm a wolf. Lone wolf. Shinsuke says, doesn't matter. I'll face you. I'll show you that. And let me show you with a match. I look like an idiot because I'm doing this. I hope this isn't the thumbnail. And now we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin for later in the show. After that, they have a match of Naomi versus Liv Morgan with Riot Squad of Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan at ringside. Naomi really is out wrestling her and outspeeding Liv Morgan. If you've ever seen Liv Morgan wrestle, she ain't that good in the first place. Naomi wins with a roll-up. Right after the match, out comes the whole women's division except for Charlotte. All of the women like hit their finishers on like everyone, and eventually it stands with Becky Lynch and Naomi in the middle of the ring, standing tall. Becky Lynch tries to throw Naomi over the top rope to signify like, hey, I'm gonna win the Women's Royal Rumble, and out comes Charlotte to say it doesn't matter who wins. While I'll be happy for you for making history, I'm still going to beat you at WrestleMania because you're gonna have to fight me. Great setup. Gives great introduction, shows exactly their motivation, shows that they're no friends, shows that at the end of all this, they're going to face Charlotte. They presented her very well. They presented all of the women good enough. I'm glad it wasn't another 6-women tag match. It was good. It was good. After that, we had a Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin match. Great. Well, not great. It was good. It was good. I'd say it falls into the category of if you're bored, go check it out. Got a bored little afternoon, not really watching anything, go check out this Baron Corbin versus Shinsuke Nakamura match on SmackDown Live on January 23rd, 2018. Nakamura is mostly countering anything that Corbin like gets at him and mocks him for a lot of it. Nakamura's hitting a lot of knees on him, but Corbin eventually gets control with a throat jab. Nakamura gets back control with some strikes. They do a lot of like reversals. Shinsuke does his knees in the corner and then is about to hit the Kinshasa, but Baron Corbin reverses into a deep six. Shinsuke hits some more kicks and knees to him. Crowd is very pro Shinsuke, very much into him. Shinsuke is loading up for the Kinshasa, and right as he's about to hit him, out comes Randy Orton from nowhere. Literally did not see him. He hit an RKO. I was very shocked. He hits an RKO on Shinsuke. Then he immediately hits an RKO on Baron Corbin. Gets up on the top rope, celebrates. Crowd loves their RKOs on Randy Orton, and that is that. There's no win. It ends by DQ technically with Corbin getting the win. Sorry, Shinsuke getting the win because he attacked him. Thus, you know what? Whatever. There was no contest. After that, New Day come out to do a promo, and they are talking about how they're going to be. They just entered themselves into the Royal Rumble. Hopefully, Kofi will win. Never going to happen, but I believe Kofi should at some point. They talk about their tag team partner, the current and newest United States champion, Bobby Roode, who comes out. Bobby Roode says that while he's happy to present himself in the nation's capital of the United States of America, uh, in Washington D.C., he says while his reign as U.S. champion has only been a week, he still plans on his reign being absolutely glorious. New Day and him mesh super well. Out comes Jinder Mahal and Rusev Day, Aiden English and Rusev. They go to commercial break before the match even starts, but with them down here, commercial, you know what I mean? They Rusev is doing work. Rusev is in a lot of control. I think I don't ever see Jinder get tagged in actually. Um, he's beating up Kofi. Xavier's gone. Whatever happened to Xavier, he's like disposed. Uh, Once Bobby Roode is tagged in, he clears house. He deals with Rusev. He deals with Aiden English. He deals with Jinder Mahal. He gets a sweet, beautiful spine buster on Aiden English. At one point, Rusev gets back in the ring and kicks him, and Aiden English tries to do a very good roll up. He kicks out. Kofi hits him. Kofi hits Rusev over the top rope. Rude hits another spine buster, and Xavier gets the win for his team with an up, down, down elbow to Aiden English and gets the pinfall. It was super good. As I said, they work very well. I'm still not okay with face Bobby, but if this is what we're going to get, he's working with it. He's the U.S. champion. He looks beautiful with it. Bobby Roode holding gold of any sort is great. He looks awesome. And I hope his United States title run is good, unless he's going to be going for the WWE title, which I hopefully hope he does too, because he freaking needs to. He's an A-list talent, and he does not need to be relegated to a lower level. But either way, that's that. After that, and as I said, the show went by really fast and very good. We have AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, the first match, the gauntlet match. AJ Styles wins with a calf crusher in about 3 minutes. Like Kevin Owens does a little bit of offense after he gets caught. Kevin Owens sells that his leg is injured, and then he gets put in the calf crusher and immediately taps out. Right when he taps out, Sami Zayn comes out to beat up on AJ Styles. Before the match actually started, Shane McMahon stopped Sami Zayn from being at ringside during Kevin Owens' match, because if he was, or if Kevin Owens was for Sammy's match, if it even happened, that he would fire them, and they wouldn't even have their match at Royal Rumble because he would fire them. And yeah, so once Kevin lost the match, that went out of the window. So Sammy immediately jumped on that by attacking AJ. There was a lot of periods, I think, for 2 commercial breaks. Sammy's just beating up AJ. A lot of it, he's just chin locks and rest holds and hits and stuff. AJ is selling that he is just torn and battered. AJ gains control with his quick strike combo, which is super cool. When he actually eventually hits Sami Zayn outside the ring, and when he does, he goes after him. And he sees Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is being tended to by the medical staff, and he goes over and kicks him in his leg. And Kevin Owens says it like he's dying. The weird thing is that the medical staff are incapable of getting Kevin Owens out of there quickly. Regardless of that, they go to commercial break after Sammy attacks Styles to protect his friend. Go back inside the ring. Now it's a match. They are reversing it and doing great moves. Ushigoroshi, Blue Thunder Bomb, Huluva Kick, Michinoku Driver, and all sorts of stuff. Counter upon counter, move upon move. Quick pace, action too fast to call. Great match. Eventually, AJ hits Sammy outside of the ring again and goes after Kevin. This time Kevin's on the stretcher and about to be pulled out. He pushes Kevin down, and Sammy gets back in the ring. AJ Styles is getting pretty upset and like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you up. You pissed me off, and I'm just gonna beat you. Darn it, that probably means I owe another $1 since PISSED counts. He gets back in the ring. Sami Zayn immediately hits him with a haluva kick and hits a Blue Thunder Bomb for the 1-2-3 victory. And Sami Zayn has now beaten the WWE Champion twice, having him have high momentum for the Royal Rumble. Very good SmackDown Live show. This falls into my category of good show, great show. Check it out. The continuity is good. Matches, there's constant matches. I think I've just told you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. If you count the gauntlet matches as 2 matches in a 2-hour show with great storyline progressions, great direction, great hype for the Royal Rumble, and it mattered. Those people matter. That's what I want. I want my current stars to not be viewed as inferior and less than the previous stars. You need to be looking at the now and the future. And that's what this SmackDown Live felt like to me. And while a lot of SmackDown Lives have been lackluster, this is a good one. I don't know if Road Dogg was in charge of it. Those are my reviews for SmackDown and Raw this week. Once again, it's my birthday. Okay, you can't see that. It's my birthday. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope I brought a lot of energy and a lot of time. If there's any comments or anything that you feel about that I missed out or that I said, just make sure to leave a comment below. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at Micah Kool-Aid. I'm always willing to talk. I'm always willing to chat. I'm always looking for new friends. You can tell just by how I am. I'm very open and very much like talking to new people. I'm a good guy. You can trust me. Leave a like and give me a thumbs up. Ring-a-ding-ding that bell right there to get notified of anything that I say. Leave a comment below. Tell me of your best memories from Raw. Tell me of your best moment from Raw that you ever remember. I've been your host, Micah. Once again, you can follow me on Twitter at Micah Kool-Aid. I'm going to give you a 2 claps and a 2 sweet, and I'm out.